welcome back to the All New Nerds podcast. We haven't had one in a while, guys, but I'm Levi, and we're here, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Dylan and Johnny.
Sir.
I did the wrong thing there, and we're here to finally do
Finally.
a celebration recap. I'm pretty sure because in the video that you hopefully have watched in the vlog, it ends with me saying, hopefully by this point you'll have seen something, and you haven't because we haven't done one.
Technically, part 3.
Part 3 of the vlog. This is the epilogue, the real epilogue.
This is the
Yeah.
epilogue. Yeah.
I like the
Fake
way this
vlog?
played out though, because people can watch the vlog and then come here for the inside scoops. of the
Whoa,
stuff
it's like,
we
am I
didn't-
smart or what?
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of like how it.
Am I
You
smart?
would have preferred the other way around.
No, I just don't think he's smart. I think it's probably
Oh,
the right
okay.
way to do it, but I don't know if he can
Oh,
claim
okay, but like
can
it doesn't
claim credit
necessarily
on it.
make you
I
like
think I-
No, I
intelligent.
don't think so.
Like it's like
Reasonably
a common
intelligent.
sense.
I
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Oh,
well,
okay. Well, in that case,
I do-
But yeah,
Yeah,
Thanks,
well,
guys.
if you didn't know, we went to Star Wars Celebration. Me and Johnny get to fly out and see Levi, who you see below there.
And
looking-
Gibbs.
Of course, Gibbs was with us. And just overall, great time.
just running up that hill,
Just
We ran-
running up that road.
hill.
straight to Denny's.
Straight.
That's you know if Vivekna had cursed me, a Denny's would pull me out. If someone was like had a plate of
No.
Denny's in front of me, like smelling it, it's giving me
Instead
the
of the sound, it's the smell.
like,
It's
Oh,
not good.
yeah.
It's not good that you like it that
no,
much.
I'm going to.
No,
to
you would
Denny's.
have had the Carl's Jr. Primal burrito.
I would the primal. Yes.
These are places we went to while we were at Celebration.
we'll get there.
frequently.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get
yeah.
there now.
John.
We can go. So we went to Star Wars Celebration. We can go around. I guess first. There's so much to talk about. We have a bunch of
Should we
bunch
just
of
do a
little
quick
stories. I
timeline?
guess we can. If we can do our best. I don't know.
Yeah,
if we're
we
all
can try to
gonna
remember. A
have the
lot
same
happened,
timeline.
and it was
Yeah,
a
I'll
lot
be
of.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on like Brent's stream yesterday, his unboxing stream.
Yeah.
And he was showing me the Giancarlo video that you were there for that.
President Giancarlo.
President Giancarlo.
Yes, sir.
And he's like, "Oh, you were there for that, right?" I was like, "No." And he's like,
Nope.
"Oh." And I was like, "I don't know where I was though."
Yeah.
you know?
You.
I was like at a panel probably, but like
you
still,
were at a panel at the time.
like I'm already having trouble being like it's all just blended. It's blended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're the comic one.
I think you're right.
Well, folks, yes, this is our Star Wars Celebration podcast. We're here to talk about Celebration, so let's talk about Celebration.
Let's do it.
We all had a great time. Look at our smiling little smiling faces. Look,
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
Awesome.
pull up a picture of us
Yeah,
smiling at
I-
Star
I
Wars
saw
Oh, I
Celebration.
can do that.
Yeah.
We have a couple of those. Those exist.
Yeah.
I do want to weave in. I'm not just.
Oh,
trying to
we
be
have pictures. Yeah.
bothersome. I do. This is the All the Nerds podcast. We do talk about other things than Star Wars, and I do want to weave in just a little bit of Stranger Things because it's hot right now, and I've just watched it, so it's on the brain. So I just want to.
Well, you're a little behind. You're a little late to the
It's
party.
like it's like a week and a half old. It's not that long,
Dude,
and
Stranger Things comes
a
and
week and a
goes.
half old? No, it's not.
it's like the end of May. I don't know. It's like 2 weeks.
It all
Two
comes
and a-
out at once.
Oh, that's right. No, actually, it came out the week of Celebration, didn't it? Oh man.
Yeah.
I think Celebration, to tie it back, just warped my mind. I was so like in a
It's
different
True.
world.
All our minds.
It was a
I-
time warp.
I was in a different.
It was
universe.
it was weird too because it's like when I explained people the trip, they're like, "What'd you do in California?" I was like, Stayed
Star
in like this
Wars?
one vicinity the whole time, and I didn't go anywhere else. I didn't visit anything, which I mean I didn't expect to either. But we
Right.
pretty much just stayed. The whole day was pretty much just spent at that convention
Oh, whole
center.
weekend. Well, I had a little side trip.
Yeah.
beforehand.
Johnny went in a day early.
I came
Got
in a day
murdered.
early. Visited Brent.
Yes, sir. Brendan, you
Did
This
not
lovely-
get killed.
His lovely
Very much
abode.
alive.
He's
was
alive.
not
He
killed.
made it.
Levi. Yeah, we hung out with Brent, which is great. Man's got a lot of stuff. Let me tell you.
It's a nice apartment.
We're
Yeah.
unpacking. Beautiful.
You guys did a
apartment.
stream, right? Where
We did, a
you just
little
unpacked
thing.
a bunch of his old toys.
Some classic original Kenner figures, and they were great. It was very cool to see. I've never seen that many in person like that, so it was very cool, very fun. Yeah, we just kind of hung out, and literally like there was just so much to go through, so that's kind of what we did all day. Walked
Yeah.
around a little bit though, but it was just fun. And then we went down to the convention center. Well, first we got we picked up Dylan and Gibbs,
Yes, sir. Long flight.
and yeah, and
Yeah.
and then we got there, and then Levi came later. We got him, and then we're all assembled, and that
The All
was
New Nerds are together again. Last time was around Christmas time where we did the holiday
is
special.
canceled.
If you haven't seen that,
Christmas is canceled.
Christmas
though.
ended up not being canceled.
true.
Fortunately for us. But yeah, so me and Gibbs came in. This is my first time in California, mind you. Not
Only like your
again.
second flight ever.
Second flight in his
Yeah,
life.
second flight in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I really got to experience California much, but it was sunny. We actually got like really good weather while we were there. It was like it
Yeah.
never really broke like mid 80s. I think it
Although
stayed.
although
mid
it got
70s.
a little too much.
Yeah,
For
I know
me.
the sun was
One-
bad.
one
Is that what
twice
happened?
there.
I was baking the whole time.
Yeah. I just didn't drink enough either.
I-
Drink your
yeah,
water.
we
Drink
were,
water, kids. This is a
definitely
PSA.
drink water,
I was
especially when you're
proofing.
standing
Drink
and walking
water.
around all day in like
Yep.
a very crowded, hot
In a hot,
convention.
climated
I was
state.
I was proofing the vlog that you guys just saw that just went up with a couple of friends. And like I pulled it up on the TV just to watch it. They're like, "Oh, what are you watching?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this, the vlog for the channel." And they're like, "Okay."
I
I
didn't know
sat
you
down,
did that.
and they're like, "What happened to Johnny?" Like on that second day, you look like ravaged. Like you look like you look destroyed in the intro of that video, and it is so like apparent that you are clearly not well. And
No, I wasn't.
you
Yeah,
were not
I was
well.
worried.
I had consistent headaches
They're like,
Yeah.
throughout the whole trip.
Even before going, like COVID was definitely a concern of
worry, yeah.
mine
Concern.
because it's on the rise always. It seems.
None of us got it though. Well,
I can't be from that. Okay, I get
No,
it.
no,
get
no,
it
no.
from that.
No,
Get
I
it
have
from that.
COVID
Well, I
now,
was
guys.
gonna.
I have
We
caught
evaded.
COVID-19, but
We
not
s-
from celebration.
Yeah, Levi
Not
currently
from
actually has
celebration.
COVID, but we somehow, and
Fortunately.
I don't know how, because other people that we were like near who were, I remember being like, these people are sick. Like these people are not
Yeah, we
super
were
well.
around people who had it.
We were around people who like certainly had it, but
Mhm.
we managed to make it out all right. At least I'm
Somehow.
pretty sure. I mean, I tested so many times because I felt kind of sick after celebration. But
I felt
apparently, I don't go to
fortunately.
a lot of conventions, but this is something that has been happening
It's like your
for
first
years. You go to
Yeah.
a
Oh, even
convention and you just like get
Con
sick.
crud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
con crud. That's what they call it.
con
and
crud,
there
right?
are so many people.
Do I
But
have a
also
hat?
on the other hand, if
hat?
there wasn't the COVID-19 virus going around, I
Wait, let's
think
see.
seeing all those Star Wars people would have been that much cooler.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it was so cool because
Oh, that's-
everyone in the vicinity is there for the one thing, like you go to like a Comic-Con, it's like there's so many different interests and stuff. This is all just
Do I
Star
look-
Wars.
do I look that bad?
Literally,
It's
everyone's
the beginning. It's the beginning of the day two. Sorry to interrupt you, Dylan. It's the start.
Where
of
we
the
have
day
the
two.
shirts on?
When we're both in the shirts on, you look disheveled.
I
Like
think
you
I
are.
look okay.
I think you're noticeably off because you were sick that day, and like you
Yeah,
said,
but-
yeah,
you were
you like
noticeably off.
you went home that day.
The
Early.
day-
I thought I had COVID. I didn't.
When we landed, I was like not looking good. I was in like sweatpants. And I was
Yeah,
in-
Dylan, like again, rookie mistake. But Dylan shows up in like sweatshirt and sweatpants. You have do you have a sweatshirt? Maybe.
No, I didn't have a
Or you
sweatshirt.
had
I
it
just
on.
had like a shirt on.
I had a
But it was also
Sweatpants-
like
sweat-
we left at
sweatpants
like
and sweltering
left
at
at-
California.
we left at 6 in the morning. I mean, man, it was colder in California than it was in Massachusetts.
What?
Yeah. Massachusetts that weekend had been like 90s. It
I
was like
know.
80 there.
Mhm.
But yeah,
What does
But,
it do with the sweatshirt or the pants? I'm confused by the point.
don't
know.
whatever.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah. You're not helping your kid.
I didn't
I'm
wear a
very
sweatshirt.
confused.
I didn't wear a sweatshirt.
Dylan was bundled up, winter clothing, ready to go skiing. He
Johnny
had
basically
goggles
was when we
on.
left. He
So,
had, like,
hey,
what-
that's a much different reason.
What was
which
that?
we'll get
8
to
pairs of
at the
underwear
very
you
end.
had on?
Don't
I
stop.
forgot about that. How was that ride?
Wait till the end.
Okay.
It-
All right, yeah. Let's
okay.
go
Yeah,
tell
a
it.
little
So what
tease.
happened?
That was a little tease.
Day 0, we don't gotta talk about that. What happened day 1?
Day zero.
Hold on. I think day 0 was good and worthy of talking.
Oh,
about.
day zero. Yeah, day
Okay,
zero.
give us
Was
some
the
day
first time
zero
I
lore.
met. We've met we've all met the Hall Net Marauders more than once, or at least I have and Dylan have. So we were with them, and then I also met a convert called Corey and
met
Aubrey
Rex
that
around,
day
too.
Yeah.
and then Rexing around later that night.
Yeah, we just
actually,
saw
here's
people.
here the first picture.
Is you have a photo of? Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have a photo. Yeah.
Here's me with,
Look at me.
Michael
I
Nay.
look very.
and there's Levi.
I have a strange bend in that photo. Can we look
Yeah,
at
you
those two
do.
photos
You
again?
do. You got
Wait,
like a
yeah,
look at
you
your
got a
hip,
weird
look at
bend.
your
What's up
hips,
with
and
that?
then like your torso goes up. It's like
You have horrible scoliosis.
That's
yeah.
a strange. That's
See?
a strange.
Right? Is
No,
my
but
see?
look
I
at
look
me.
normal.
But me in the background, I look like I'm staring just
Oh
so
yeah,
like
look at Levi.
there must
I
be
did not even notice you in the background.
there must be someone behind you in that frame that I
No,
was
I
just.
think you're just looking at me.
The lighting is very
Strange.
evil,
Maybe.
I will say.
Does it look like I have scoliosis?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looked like you a lot like you had
Looks a little
scoliosis.
silly.
I don't even know how I did that. Like, I think it has to be the shirt or something, the way it was hanging off my body, because that's like, how do you even like?
I don't know.
Like, look at that bend.
I had no
Or
idea.
maybe you just got like your ass
Like,
out, kind of like sticking it out. Like,
yeah,
okay,
So
who
I
knows?
appreciate that.
you're welcome.
Uh,
Maybe.
But yeah, we met them all at downtown Disney on
Yeah.
day 0 after
Which
we
we
checked out from
which
our
we
checked
which we
into our
frequented.
beautiful hotel.
We
We frequented
frequented.
downtown Disney a couple
Which I will
times.
say, our hotel was. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was nothing special though. It was very cramped.
Yeah,
I thought,
it was fine.
which I mean
Well,
it's what we expected.
I think a
but-
lot of the problems with our hotel room were self-inflicted. I'll say
Correct.
that.
So how so,
Self
Levi?
self-inflicted problems.
Correct.
Eternal
put out-
struggles.
I want to put out that I had to clean the fridge.
The
I was the
fridge.
one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cleaned.
Why
I
did you have
cleaned
to clean that fridge?
because
Oh
you.
yeah, because we went
Okay,
to go get the Carl's.
Because
So
you
we
had
had-
fucking left the Carl's, and
Alright,
Johnny was
side note
freaking
story,
out, going,
Side note story.
and then I cleaned the whole ass hotel room. I took out all of the trash
Yeah.
and scrubbed out the fridge.
We got these like Dr. Peppers, which weren't even very good. They were like
They were
special
so bad,
berry
bro.
flavor.
I'll
thought
be
they were, like,
honest. I'll be
alright.
honest. I was a little mad when, not a little mad, but like I was a little annoyed when someone still charged me $5 for the Carl's burrito. I was like, I deserve this burrito. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Johnny.
why? But anyways, the
Yeah, oh.
it was we put
Not
it.
you.
I don't
You
know
were
if we
just-
put
Johnny
it
was
or if
losing
it
it.
was, but the fridge was on max freeze.
They
So it's
said it.
basically-
No. The hotel did that.
It was basically a freezer, and so we put the sodas in there, and we didn't realize it was a max freeze. And obviously, you know what happens when you put a soda in the freezer; they explode. So we opened the
Well-
freezer one day. We're like, "What happened? Like, why is there just this frozen brown sludge all over the freezer?"
There is a video somewhere. I don't.
So we left
I
it
don't-
there the
I don't have it
entire
right now,
trip
but-
until literally probably 10 minutes before
last-
we had to check out.
And I was on
Um,
my hands and knees scrubbing this fridge to get it out.
Yeah,
And but the only reason why I said to give you some context here is the fact that at the same time, Johnny was also, this is the end of the trip, losing his mind about how to fit all of his stuff back, which we'll get to at the end. But I'll just say Johnny was not in a good headspace, so he was just
No, like,
totally out of it.
I'd say
was
half
not.
of this
I
trip.
couldn't. I
out of-
couldn't help him.
Yeah.
I was pretty.
Johnny was like bouncing around the room, just going like, like he was losing it. So I took
I
out all
thought.
this.
Yeah, I bought too much stuff. Well, going back to our actual celebration
Yeah,
time.
that was a little bit. Shout out to
I
the
bought,
Primal Dr.
bought
Pepper.
Ahsoka lightsabers. That was cool.
This is all day 0,
but-
by the way, guys.
Oh yeah, day 0. We or y'all spent some money.
Yeah,
just
Brent
bought
and
it,
I,
but-
Brent and I bought the Ahsoka sabers, but luckily they sold.
You
They sold out.
immediately dropped them too. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was
I
rough.
was
got that.
so
I got
bad.
that
They had
one.
yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It
but
wasn't that bad. There was just one mark on
The
it. but it's okay.
I will say about this trip,
I would die.
maybe it's just because I'm a broke boy or I don't like collect that much, but I did not spend that much money on Star Wars stuff. Almost
did
all
you
my
get
money
anything?
went to Denny's, which we went to every day, and Carl's Jr., which we went to every day.
I tell ya, I spent a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny and
you guys-
Levi.
You can see
Speaking
on the
third
vlogs,
person, we
but
bought a
yeah,
lot.
they did end of day hauls.
Dylan had what we call a small haul. We had
Yeah.
a normal
We
haul.
had
a haul.
a U-Haul. A
I
U-Haul
bought-
haul.
I bought dollars
Chuck
that have
haul.
Yoda instead of George Washington on them. So I
That's
think
right,
that
you
I
did
kind
do
of
that.
I think I made
You
out
have
the
them?
best. Not on me. They're in my wallet, but
Oh.
just in case, you never
Just-
know. when
just
you
for
gotta-
me.
Where's
Immediate
your
use.
wallet? Is your wallet?
Well, it's on the other
In
side
case
of the room.
Dylan gets
I don't really
sucked
feel like getting
into a
out,
different
but
dimension or the upside down, and suddenly they're like, "Oh, here we only take Yoda dollars." He's like,
Yoda dollar.
I was
well,
ready for this.
it's so you can verify that it's me. So I'm not like I'm not like a clone or something. Like if I'm carrying that Yoda dollar,
Okay.
you know that's me.
Gotcha.
That's kind of why I bought it. But also, it's pretty.
That's
cool,
that's
so.
kind of why I bought it.
Yeah, that's like I needed some kind
That
of
was the thought process.
identification.
Of all the justifications to have, that might be the weirdest.
I went to Star
Not
Wars
good, not a
Celebration
good
to
one.
get the Yoda dollar. That's pretty
Mm.
much that's as far as I'll go in that story.
Right.
I don't think I got most of the things I wanted to get from Celebration besides like
that's
one.
hilarious because you got a lot.
Well, the part of the stuff
Yeah,
is
that's
no, we'll get to it when we get to what the vendors actually had to offer. But there was a strange
you got
selection
probably more than me.
of things. No, you got more than me. You in terms of like figure stuff, you technically speaking, I think got more than me because you got
Yeah.
you got
Giant's a big baller.
you got some items that were much bigger than anything individual that I got.
I
I
will
think
say, Collector's Paradise there. I mean, I didn't think I
it
don't know
wasn't
much.
though. It
It
wasn't.
wasn't?
That was the thing. That's what I was really. And I might as well just talk about it now because it's not that big of a deal. This is because this applies to the whole
We'll
convention.
talk about the panels in a second.
I talked to multiple vendors who were like surprised by the lack of certain lines that were there. There was almost no 30th anniversary collection, and that really
Oh,
bothered me
wow.
because
Yeah.
that is the line I was going there to hunt, and there's almost
Yeah,
none of it.
yeah.
And I was talking to the guy who I bought one of them from. He's like, "Yeah, there's like no vendors have this." It was a ton of Power of the Force stuff, a ton of Attack of the Clones
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Phantom Menace, very little Revenge of the Sith. Johnny got like went to the one vendor that really had those figures.
Really
There weren't-
had yeah.
there weren't a lot of them.
I bought the most of my stuff was from one store.
And quite frankly, very little Black Series. Like there was the Dork Side vendor,
The
which
Dork Side
looked,
one was
it
awesome.
Yeah,
looked
I
like
mean-
it had a lot, but in terms
Yeah.
of variety, there's over like 500 different Black Series figures. There were maybe I think 150 represented there. Like it was
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah,
the
maybe
complete
not even
absence,
honestly.
the complete absence of some
Yeah.
characters that are like staples to the line that you just could not find. I don't think I
Right.
saw one red box Captain Rex. The
No.
hell?
Well, I
Like-
think that goes for just the state of Star Wars toys in general,
So weird.
where it's like high demand, low supply.
But this
And
is coming
so-
from my experience of 2019, where you could find literally anything under the sun
Yeah.
that was Star Wars in 2019. This celebration, it did feel there was a lot of it, but it did feel more limited. It did not feel as wide.
I personally wasn't underwhelmed. but
Right. That
Clearly,
doesn't
but-
necessarily have to do with the venue. That's the state
No.
of
It,
the-
it had to do with like this, I guess, the state of collecting as a whole. But the thing
Right.
about the Legacy collection, I think, is some sort of weird, just circumstantial thing. Because I
There's
don't
a
know why.
conspiracy there.
Like what is up with that? Because that is the line I went there to collect,
Right.
and I did not find what I
You didn't
wanted.
find many, or the ones you wanted.
It kind of
that's news to me.
Yeah.
You sure got a lot.
Yeah,
Well, I did.
you
'Cause
guys-
I love Star Wars. I don't know if you know that, but I'll buy. I'll buy. Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
But I'm trying to figure out where we go next with Day Zero, because we really just kind of hung out.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
Day Zero. We hung out.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was
We
kind
met
of a chill day.
met a bunch of people. I was tired AF from the plane. I just
Yeah.
wanted to go to bed so bad.
Yeah, you were out of it by the end of that day.
Yeah, I
That's
was.
true.
I will say I slept very, very well.
Hey,
at this,
Dylan, a good for the most part bed partner.
Good.
I'd give him an 85% rating.
Good?
No. You know,
Someone's gonna take that out of context.
Alright. know,
but
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I
don't-
think I phrased that fine. If I said like,
We
well, I'm
had-
not gonna say
no,
it,
hold
'cause
on.
I'll make it-
I'm a
we
pretty
had-
good partner. in
we
bed.
had 2 beds in
Well-
our hotel. We had 2 beds in our hotel, and 4 people.
Yeah,
went-
yeah,
had
yeah.
4
Me and Levi
Do the
were
math.
we were great.
So do the math.
Johnny
Ben and Johnny on the other.
they had some problems.
It
right
was
off
like
the
a
rip.
old married couple. They
You
we-
ruined the bed. Yeah. I don't think I've ever laughed as I have laughed in that what was it, an IHOP or something?
Yeah, we're at
that
IHOP.
IHOP at like
That was nice.
10 p.m. I was losing it at these two. It was like watching an
know.
episode of Seinfeld live. Oh my god.
Because
So
they,
funny.
they were arguing because I don't know, something of it. The bed wasn't made, and Johnny decided to all of a sudden get really upset about it when we were in IHOP.
I don't
And
want
Ben-
to. I don't. You're already telling it wrong. I don't want to go down this road right now.
He
You're
was
already
upset.
telling it.
He was
incorrectly.
upset the whole time. But then Ben, who was, in my
Was
opinion,
in the wrong.
well, yeah,
Yes,
in my
I will
opinion,
agree.
well, he was, yeah, but he was in the wrong. But he was in the wrong in such a weird way. And then
He
even when
knew
he
it,
had,
though. He knew he was in the
even
wrong.
when he would take the. Oh, it was so weird. It was such a bizarre thing to watch.
It was
so
funny.
weird because then you just shut down, and so you weren't like listening to him at all. And you were like, when you weren't listening to him, he'd be like, "I said that," and you'd be like, "What are you saying to me?" And it was so funny. When
He'd
he's
be
like,
like-
He'd
he'd
be
be
like,
trying
"Hey,
to
what do you
defend
want
himself.
from me?" And you'd
Yeah,
be
what
like,
do you
"I
want from me?"
you to make the
he's
bed."
like, "I said that," but if we're talking about your moral obligation, and Johnny would just shut down. I could not. Dylan and I just kept looking at each other. I was
I was
so
trying to eat
funny.
my IHOP, man.
It was.
We went to a
Oh,
lot of breakfast
Went
places.
to a lot of breakfast places. Yeah.
I
Just to-
will
to-
stand.
just
I
to-
will not stand on breakfast foods, just breakfast foods. I think Denny's is bad. I think their pancakes are good. I didn't think their like eggs and I thought their sausage was gross. I thought their eggs were mid. I thought their like bacon or whatever I got there, I was like, this is not very good. Which is
I only
guess
got
why you
the
go to Denny's.
pancakes one day. It was pretty good.
I like the
Yeah.
pancakes. I got a
I give it 2
pancakes and a
thumbs
milk.
up.
Well, was it that
Two?
day? Was it that
What?
day that I went to Denny's twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was day one.
Yeah, so we got what did we get, lunch or break?
Well,
Oh,
here,
that was day
okay. If we're
one.
on, if we're on day
Okay,
one now, here we went to sleep
okay.
on Thursday. Let me set the scene.
We
And we
went to
wake
sleep.
up
No way.
and we
Oh,
wake
thank
up
God.
and it dimes if
Thank
you
God.
made it
And
this
we
far.
woke up.
Thank you for watching. You're a loyal
No.
viewer. We appreciate
Thursday
you.
is day one.
And I'm talking about day one right now. And so we were like, oh, we got to go to Denny's because we did the whole Denny's bit on the thing, and Dimes is always been like, you got to go to Denny's. So we're gonna do a bit. It's funny. It was also funny how
Was it?
Brent kept calling Dimes Anchorman and switching them up. That was also
Yep.
funny.
Love
But
it.
so we're like, oh, we got to go to Denny's because it was a joke, but like there is one close and we
Yeah,
want to
we
eat
needed
there.
food. We
Like, we
needed
needed
to eat
food.
before we
So
went to
like
the
we were gonna
convention.
go to Denny's, and Johnny's like,
We didn't want to be standing in those lines.
Johnny's like, I
waiting.
got you guys. I'm just setting the scene. You guys can take over. He's like, I got you guys. I'll get you there. You know, we're going to Denny's. Like, I got a map.
This is just take a dump on me.
There's one.
podcast,
This
is it?
this is how the night. This is how it went.
This is we're just telling a
this is
true
just-
story.
This is how it went. You went.
This is how our day
Just
started.
dump on me.
I'll get you
podcast.
there. I'll get
Awesome,
you there.
thanks.
And we're following him, and we're walking. We're like, and Brent and everyone started looking at each other like, I'm pretty sure the Denny's was closer on the map. And Johnny's like, no, I got us, guys. We're going. We're almost there. It takes us about, I'd say, anywhere from 20 minutes to half an hour to get to this Denny's. Johnny took us the longest possible route. I think like if the Denny's is here and we were here, we went like
Yeah.
this all the way around. It was comical.
The Denny's better damn have been worth it, and it wasn't. But
I thought it was
I
worth
guess it filled me up for our long day of conventioning.
Johnny pulling up a Google map or something to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell your side of the story?
No.
I mean,
Right
he was
now.
pretty quick to admit that he messed up. We just were all hungry and anxious and ready to go to the ready to get to that convention. Which eventually,
right.
after our
We
Denny's
did.
meal, we
We made
found
it.
our way there.
Ran
And so I
into
didn't.
Shaco and
I had we
Yep.
ran into a lot of people,
That was
and I had
fun.
no idea what to expect because I mean I'd never been to a Star Wars celebration. People are always saying how it's like, oh, you know, it's like one of the best
First
like
day
Star
had the
Wars
worst start.
experiences of our life. Of
Oh,
my
wait.
life. I'm like, oh shoot,
saw
okay, that's
something.
crazy.
First day, Levi landed, which was the day before. We were walking around, or Levi and I were getting our. We had to go into the building because they needed something with our passes. We saw Sheev.
Oh
Friend of the show,
yes, yeah.
Sheev.
True, it's true.
Ran into him. He recognized us. That was cool.
I like the way
shout
you're
out to friend of
standing
the-
in that photo.
You
Yeah,
sound
that's
like
a weird
Gap
stand,
model.
huh?
I think it's very. I think it's very.
Anyways.
I like it.
Love it. Anyways, now back to day one. Thank
Back
you.
to day one.
They won, but yeah, so people were just lined up, or not lined up. I don't know. They were gathered, I guess,
Uh,
near the big fountain. We
No,
were in
yeah,
the
there,
Taco,
yeah.
that Element 7 crowd. That was pretty cool. And we just kind of got our first taste of just all the different cosplays and just everyone there. It was pretty
Lot of
cool.
that.
Overwhelming a lot of the time. I
The
will say.
people in the armor don't know how
Like,
they do it.
yeah, no, oh my gosh,
I couldn't even
can't
survive with normal clothes on.
There was one point,
Yeah.
and this is without a day, where a Kylo Ren cosplayer walked up to, I think it was
Oh,
was it
this
Ben
is-
or, and it was like, can you put on my hood?
Yeah,
And there's this guy. He's like
no,
this
because
massive
Gibbs
guy.
is tall. That's why.
Yeah, it was so funny. And
Yeah,
he's like, can you
Gibbs
put on
is
my
tall,
hood?
and so
And he
a
tried.
really tall guy who was dressed
And
as
then he
Kylo
tried, failed. The Kylo guy turned around, the hood turned off, and then he just put it on himself and just goes, "I love you, bro," and like walks off.
yeah.
It was very
That
funny.
guy probably
Stuff
boiled
just happened.
alive.
Stuff just happened at celebration.
That's
Just
okay.
that's my
So
motto.
we also I guess we didn't preface this. So 4 big panels, one for each day. We
Right.
got into 0 of them because it was like a waitlist lottery type thing. We didn't get into a single one. So already
Oh.
we were bumming
Oh,
pretty
I was like,
hard.
yes, we did.
Levi runs into a guy on the plane. I guess you can tell the story.
No,
'cause
he
you
literally
were
just
there.
sits next to somebody
Yeah.
who happens to
Yep.
be an in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, essentially, yeah, some guy who, shout out to Emilio.
Emilio, friend of the show,
He,
friend of us,
yeah,
friend of ours.
yeah, just a friend, really.
Just a friend.
Well, I should thank him again. I already thanked him
Yeah,
obviously many times,
I know.
but just because it was such a what a clutch guy.
It was a
Like,
clutch moment.
so I said, because yeah, we're bumming. They're bumming. I shouldn't say I was, because the whole time I was like, guys, things just happen.
Levi has
at
always been, from day
Celebration.
one. He was like,
From
"Don't
day
worry,
one,
guys,
I'm
things
like,
happen."
It just happens.
Dylan and I, Dylan and Gibbs were stressing about it, but
Yeah,
it was
so
fine. It was good.
and so on the plane, I happened to be sitting next to a guy who's he's helping run like an esports convention that just happens to be happening at the same time. He's not actually going to Celebration, but he has friends. He's a convention guy. He has friends on the circuit. He friends there, and so we had all these connections that he's like, "Oh yeah, you want you know, like here's the Bad Batch panel, here's this, here's that, here's this, and just befriended him on the plane. And by the end of it, got off the plane. I was like, guys, I have some good news.
Yeah.
And then from there, things just started happening in
Vibes were up,
Celebration.
yeah.
Honestly, my biggest regret of the con, to take it back to day one, because I think, like I was saying,
I know what mine is.
I think day one, I probably had the worst start. Like we waited in that awful underground line. Didn't need to do that.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So
But
underground.
we
Oh,
probably could have gotten into the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase panel
Yeah.
if we wanted to. Like
Right.
if we just
That's
like
what we
BS'd our
wanted.
way in, we
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
could have done it.
What was the underground?
In the parking
the
lot.
I don't know, the line we first waited in on
Yeah, in
day
the
one,
parking lot,
the
in
big
the
room,
lower,
the huge room that
Oh, yeah.
like we only
went
really did
around.
that. We only
So
did that
that's when
once,
we got
and
our
that's like,
first taste of just go do
Of how
stuff.
many people?
Because well,
Well,
not only that, but also just like figure it out because the people were like, nah, just get into this
yeah, the
Jedi
employees are
mastermind.
like, they're like, I don't know what's going on.
no,
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
what
And
do you
so
expect? But
yeah, so we jumped into like the Jedi
Because
mastermind.
there's just so much going on. Like these
Yeah.
employees, I feel bad for them because they get kind of crapped on, but a lot of them are volunteers, and there are just literally tens of thousands of people, and they all get told different things, like
Yeah.
slightly different things from their managers, and they do not know how to answer every single question.
Right.
Like, the first thing that Johnny and I did is went to a help desk, and the help desk was like, this is the wrong help desk. And I'm
Good
like, go through
Yeah.
another one, and they were like, no, man, like I don't
Yeah,
know. And I
yeah.
was like,
No, just don't worry about it. And I will say again, shout out Emilio because if it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't have gotten into all the subsequent panels after the Lucasfilm panel. I won't get into specifics, but we got in. We got into the panels that we wanted to, which was fun. But yeah, day one, we get in, big old line, a lot of people. I'm like, I'm getting COVID for sure. Like this is happening. And then we start walking around.
we didn't.
And I'm like, is this it? I was like, is this what Star Wars Celebration is? It was cool, but I was like, I don't know if I can do this for 4 days straight, and I don't want to buy anything because everything's super expensive because it's Star Wars.
It actually wasn't. But I
It
understand.
wasn't actually super expensive. No, if anything, I'd say the deals were pretty good because
on most places,
They were
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
on
for
most
me.
places,
There were a lot.
there
There
were
were actually a lot
some.
of good deals, but it's
Here,
still
allow me to interject
Yeah.
a quick little anecdotal story. The other day in the mail, yesterday actually, I got the Bad Batch 4-pack from the Vintage Collection. It was
How much was
$50.
that?
It was $50 on Amazon for all 4 figures. 50.
I'll be right.
Johnny and I were in a vendor sort of off to the side. You know, just looking for stuff. We were looking for figures. Not only was this guy selling each of these individual figures for like $50 each, insane. He was
Yep.
just such an asshole. Johnny was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's
that
this
guy.
the same guy. And Johnny was like, oh,
Mm.
hey, how much is this? And like, I don't even know what you did. Did you sort of like, you just
I
wanted to
just-
see it, or like,
I just picked it up. I
like
was
picked it up and he was like,
um,
watch out, kid, that thing's worth more than your life, or like something to that effect. It's like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, it was weird.
and something that was so
That was a bad
overpriced,
store, but
too.
every other store that was good
So funny because that Bad Batch 4-pack, you can buy it on Amazon
on Amazon.
right now. For
Yeah, and it was
$50.
more than 50.
And he was selling each
pack.
figure in it for
No.
50.
All
Like,
right, he
it was
might have, but
insane.
I was holding the pack, which I think was 100.
No, you had the pack there. No. You saw the 501st 3-pack that was there. There's
That's
multiple.
what it was.
Yeah, and he had the Bad Batch because I asked him while you were having that conversation, oh, how much for one of them? Because I was just interested in a couple of them. And he's like, oh, 50 each. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Insane, man. Insane.
not great, huh?
Not good.
Not good. But anyways, let's get on to like the actual like maybe good stuff. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of good stuff.
Well, that's what I was prefacing because I was like, this is okay. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people, but if this is just what Celebration is, because in my mind, granted, we got the Bad Batch panel or whatever.
That was the one we knew about, yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, I still don't know, like, if we're getting into any other panels or what's going on with the other panels. And then I guess should we get into live stage stuff? Is that sort of the next
Well, the
step?
first thing we did. Oh no, I'm sorry, we didn't get into the Thursday panel. That's right.
No, that was the one panel.
Yeah,
we didn't
yeah.
end up
Let
going.
me further segue into because you talked about like the Emilio thing, and I don't know if it got left in the show or not, but really the key, and I kept because I want to explain it. The quote unquote things just happened at Celebration because I did the same thing in 2019, and I'm okay talking about it. The key is because I don't really care. I mean, sorry, Reed Pop or whoever runs it. Like, if you don't tell your
Yeah.
employees what to do, I don't care that I'm
You're
getting
gonna
into a
abuse the
panel
system.
when there's open seats in there and you're not letting people in. I'm gonna try and get in. because your interface system. The key is literally just look confident and just walk straight. Because
And
the
we
way
did
we got
that.
because the way we got into the Friday one
Friday one. Walked in.
like we just walked in because that was
Yep.
when they were
Yeah.
having
We confuse. Sometimes we confuse
we
the.
just confused people. Like
well,
We
we had,
Jedi.
like,
Oh,
a
we
trans
Jedi mind
woman.
tricked them.
we
Jedi
we
mind
also had a media badge. We had one media badge which like weirdly like just threw a whole nother thing into the mix for these employees.
All the nerds
And
is
we were like,
media.
I
we
had
were
a
like, oh,
theory.
we have this thing, but we
I had a
also have this
theory.
media badge, and so we have to get in, and we have to like go, and then they're like, okay, just go, just
This
go.
is so out of order. But
For most of
I know.
celebration,
I'm just saying in
my
general.
badge looked like this, which from the back, this is the
you
blue.
can't tell what.
You can tell it's blue though. It looks like this. This is the
Oh, I
color.
see.
This is the actual badge for celebration. 4-day
Right.
Brown Pass. This color looks like the Jedi Master color,
Mm.
and this is the one for Chicago. So I'm thinking sometimes because my badge always looked like this.
I know,
that
but you were usually with.
No, sometimes I
You
just
by
walk around.
yourself?
No, but sometimes they would just look at the badges. Like they would look at the badges and they would glance down. They'd be like, "Oh,"
Right.
because like I
Right,
don't
right,
think
right.
they weren't really they didn't often like look specifically at the badge. They would just look for the colors. And if
Right.
they see that blue, sometimes I think like sometimes we had like big groups and they would see like okay media Jedi Master and then they would just go like oh yeah whatever
Right.
you know
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of whatevers. Basically, the whoever was the organizer of the convention
It wasn't organized well, and
wasn't
it
organized
worked
very
out
well.
great for us.
You could do pretty much whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so at Celebration they had the Celebration stage, which is where the Star Wars channel would do their daily live streams for the convention, and this is where celebrities will come out and all this. And I don't know if it was just me, but I didn't even like think of it at the time, or I didn't even like
I had
really
no idea.
maybe I didn't even know it was a
I
thing.
tried to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was a point where I wasn't feeling good, and Dylan and I went back to the room, and we look at our phones, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are on that stage. So I run back.
Yeah.
They just they left, but then Katie Sackhoff was out at the moment, so that or at the time. So that was
If rule number 1 is things just happen at Celebration, rule number 2 was never leave Celebration.
Never leave the Celebration
because
stage,
every
or
time
leave
we
the-
did,
yeah,
we
right.
missed something, like
We
something
did.
big.
Absolutely.
But
we
yeah,
did.
the live show.
Yeah, both times.
The live stuff had
Mando
was some of
experience.
the best memories, and I didn't even like consider one because like no one was like it was there, but like no one was like
At
crowding it
first,
for a
there
while.
was barely anybody there.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
first. Yeah.
And shout out Cam Actor. He was like the
Shout
main
out,
host, hype man.
I don't know where his picture is. Hype
but
man.
Yeah, but
Cam Actor.
Actor.
At Cam Actor.
Yeah,
We should have gotten a photo with him. I know you did, but
I did.
I know I should have done it.
He was a G, and he
Should have gotten a photo with Shartimus.
I did. You don't even.
Yeah.
You didn't even know who that was. All right. Stop.
Sorry.
Keep going, Dylan.
But yeah, I don't know. He did his job well,
Yeah,
and
he did.
that was
Hype
some
man.
of the coolest parts. Was like I don't know who did we see on day 1.
I can show you exactly who we saw.
Please do.
We saw so Katie Sackhoff was out.
Yeah,
But she
we
was
didn't
just
see
leaving
much
when
of
Dylan
her,
and I
but
got
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Then when we all got there, Ashley Eckstein came out, so that was very cool. She was great as always. She got a little emotional, which I thought was kind of sad, but also
What are you gonna say?
nice.
It was kind of weak. Didn't believe
nice.
it.
No, not. I didn't mean it like.
It was
no.
sad, but
was
she
sad,
should have held
but
it
No, it made
together.
me.
should-
Oh, not like happy.
That's the way you made it seem. It's
No,
just
no,
sad,
no.
but, like, didn't buy it. Didn't buy it.
No. Levi missed her queen. Kathleen came
I did.
out.
Yeah.
That's my honest. That's my favorite moment
His
of
best
me
friend.
in the vlogs. I go, oh my Kathy, my queen, in the
Kathleen, my
first
queen.
in the first step.
Yeah. And then they took a break, and then we got a little bit of intel from Cam Actor.
Oh yeah.
saying,
Oh yeah, we got the inside scoop.
Come back at 4. I think the time was.
And we
Come back
wouldn't
at
have.
4.
I don't think. I think we would have found
I think we
something
would've
else to
left.
do. I agree. I think we definitely would have left.
And good thing we were there when we got
Yeah, we
there.
just like had a
we were in
conversation
the
with
front.
Cam Actor. Like he
Yeah.
was the hype man that
At
we were
Cam
talking
Actor.
about, and he just like
At
came
Cam
out.
Actor
and we're
on
like, hey,
Instagram.
at
Friend of the
Cam
show.
Actor, homie.
I'm gonna try to hunt him down. We'll get him on the
Here,
show.
if you give me a second, I can grab what he gave us. He gave us the little official Star Wars show mouse droid pins, the mousy pins.
You can get that. I'll show
that.
I'll keep talking though.
Yeah, it was funny. They were just like throwing like all these T-shirts. Socks was a big thing.
Yeah, you just
The only thing any of us managed to get was a stress ball.
the stress ball, the Grogu
Yeah.
stress ball. Levi?
This
Levi?
is riveting. This is
So
riveting
let's see.
stuff. Why don't you
Oh.
Let's
show
see.
it?
So
Looks scared.
it's a
Look
mouse
deer
droid
in
on the, it's a
headlights.
mouse droid on the front, and then it says it's official. It says the Star Wars show on the
Star
back
Wars show.
because he works for them. He got
Yeah.
contracted by them. So these are actually
Yeah.
like official. I don't know if you can buy these. I haven't looked it up. Probably,
No.
I doubt it.
If it's celebration stuff, I doubt it. Anywho,
So
but the special guests or guests plural at
oh,
at
hold
4.
on. Before you say any more, I gotta put an emphasis on the chair guy and the chairs and the chair game.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Here's a little.
'Cause-
Yeah. You tell it.
So before, because once
We were all waiting. This is
because
all
I
we
mean
were waiting.
it's not really much of a surprise, but once Hayden and Ewan come out later, we know the importance of the celebration stage. I had told you guys, but then like you guys get like you got to be at the stage if you want to see people. But before that, you're sort of getting like the way to tell. You get into this game of like there's this guy who this poor man
The chair guy.
there's this poor guy at one point. He just kept because they need chairs for the guests. He just kept
Yeah.
picking it up, putting it back, picking it up, running all the way down the stage. And because they'd be like, oh, someone can't make it.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Cam
They
would be like,
Or
change
schedule
some stuff up.
changes
change it.
or who's
Like,
coming
you could also
when.
see the teleprompter, and that's how we could tell who was coming
That
out
was- yeah.
sometimes because you would
Yeah.
see like little hints of like our next the one I always point to is the one how we knew or I knew that it was Diego Luna was eventually coming out when you guys were gone and I was telling you to come back was it said on the teleprompter they had prepared our next guest has been in this fight since he was 6 years old. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well that's Diego
Right,
Luna,
and that's
but
Diego Luna,
but it kept changing because he got delayed and they would pick up the chair.
There's
So
a-
it got to the point where the crowd would cheer for the chair guy because they like
Yeah.
someone's coming,
Chair guy!
chair guy.
When there were
Chair
two
guy!
chairs, you knew it was big.
Oh,
You
yeah.
knew something big was about to happen.
Dude, two chairs got
when the
got
third one
hyped
come
up.
out, remember when the third one came out at
The
one
third,
point?
it was the third one
Yeah.
that came
I
out.
think
For a
I think it
second,
would have
though.
I think it would have been Moses
Moses with them.
but she
Yeah,
came later.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
we we just spoiled it. But anyway, so it was
Spoiler. Okay, whatever.
It's true.
what we're talking about. I mean, I don't know.
Spoiler
It's
of
Hayden and
life.
Ewan. Hayden and
Yes.
Ewan came out. I don't think I ever screamed so loud in my entire life. I think I screamed so hard that day. Or no, I screamed so hard that day that I lost my voice for the
Yeah.
remainder of celebration.
Right.
Um,
Our throats were shot.
Yeah.
I had like my
then-
secret supply of cough drops that like I didn't tell anyone about because
Thanks,
like my
Dylan.
throat was destroyed.
How dare you?
Thanks, Dylan. You
I
shouldn't
think
have said
there
that.
was one time I like
He reveals it
heard-
now in the safety.
I heard
Reveals
Ben.
it now,
No,
yeah.
there was one time I heard Ben try to talk and he just couldn't, and I was like, "Here you go, Ben." It was just like a cough drop I got from the airport.
This is how close we were. So mind you, we were like two
Yeah.
people away from them. That there's obviously me, and there's them. And yeah, no, I think I screamed so loud I popped a blood
Yeah,
vessel.
Johnny's blood vessel. His
Yeah.
eye was bleeding essentially. It's
It wa-
hilarious.
It was
Actually,
crazy.
I think it's in the vlog. Yeah, it's in the vlog.
I think it was just so crazy
my
because
face.
I just like didn't. I was kind of being a downer. I remember turning to Ben and being like, "Is this it?" And then Ewan and Hayden are like right in front of me, and not like it was a big like crowd, but not that many people are there. Like it's
No,
not like they like
because, again,
scheduled.
not a lot
You
of
didn't
people,
have to pay for this or anything. Like this is just like Ewan and Hayden coming out, and they're like I don't know 20 feet away from me.
not a lot of people like knew about the celebration stage.
We
I
got the
guess, or
inside
at
scoop
least
again. We
at-
would have left and missed
at-
Hayden and Ewan.
right.
Well, there's a lot of
And,
stuff that we hit on the first day where people just didn't know. Like you and I were able to go to the celebration store and just walk in and get stuff
Yeah.
because people
Oh yeah, that too.
people did not know where it was yet. So
It
the way
was in
celebra-
another part of the building though.
and that is
Yeah.
like the way celebration works
very far.
is like in Chicago when we got there, people were queuing. Like you waited they had a day just for shopping with no panels, and people waited all day to get in the celebration store. And it was the same way at some points in Anaheim, but the difference was here is it was in like a different part of the building, the way this convention center is laid out. And I don't think everyone knew how it worked. And Johnny and I got there first day, and just ran over there, and there was no one there, just nothing. And it was that's how we snagged. I got that High Republic book set, the Attack of the Clones shirt. We were able to grab stuff, and it was really cool.
I don't
Yeah,
Texas
it was-
Diner stuff.
A lot of decks. Well, Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones.
Yeah.
I got a sign that. I got the sign too.
Right.
But yeah, so that was like, but the thing is, we were hyping it so much because we knew from what Cam was saying. He didn't tell us it was them. We were like,
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
and then we saw the teleprompt, and then we saw the chairs, and
Right.
we're like, okay.
Like
and we started
instantly,
hyping each other up, and
my
then
whole perspective changed like on the venue because I was like, like I that's something didn't even imagine I would be doing here or like experiencing. At least not like that. Like maybe at a panel or something. But like that was super cool. That was
I
something
try to tell you
special.
guys.
yeah.
I know.
But
You had to see it to
so
believe it,
they
man.
came
It's
out,
true.
and it was and it was funny at one point. You and I claim, well, we all
I think
claim,
it's me.
Yeah, this is
but
funny. I
Ewan looked at me,
Looked at me.
think it might have been
looked at
me.
me, and smiled,
Looked
And
at me.
Gibbs will tell you it was him.
I
and
think Gibbs and I have the most legitimate claim because we're the tallest. So
I
I
no,
don't know.
he
I
made
think he
eye
just looked at
contact. I
us.
looked into his
I
eyes.
did too. We all did, bro. We all did. Okay, all right. So he looked at us, and then we all turned to each other and like, you just looked at me, and then we're like, wait.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's very possible he just looked at us and then moved his eyes very slightly, literally like millimeters at each of us because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
that
exactly.
crazy.
He analyzed us.
Right. Maybe.
But then we also got Hayden Christensen to say, or he said, "This is where the fun
This
begins."
is where the fun begins.
That was huge. That was a
People
big
lost
moment.
it.
Yeah.
I lost
What I
it.
loved
That was
is
the
like
thing,
how
bro.
much people showed that like us as a
That
Star
was
Wars
our first
people
YouTube short.
love Hayden Christensen, and because like
Yeah.
obviously he didn't get that obviously back in the prequels.
Oh, right. And
So
they couldn't even talk because
yeah.
people
Oh
like
no,
people
no, but
kept like
It was hype, but
interrupting. It
honestly,
was nice. It was hype. It was like the hypest room
it was
I've
hype,
ever
but it was a
been
pretty
in.
bad like interview, quote unquote, because
Interview.
no
sometimes it
one,
was so
No one
annoying.
would.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
Yeah.
one could let him
Nobody
speak.
would like.
exactly.
Everybody was screaming every word that Hayden
You could
said.
tell they were getting a little annoyed sometimes.
At the end there.
But yeah, because there were times I'm like, oh, I genuinely want to know what they're gonna say to this,
Yeah.
And it was just
and they just
ah
didn't. Yeah,
ah.
yeah,
I don't think I
But
said this.
then, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's not really. Well, later on, Diego Luna and Genevieve O'Reilly came out, and Genevieve definitely waved and smiled at me because
That's where I was gonna go.
she was making an effort to like really look and wave at people.
No, bro. No, not you.
It was.
let-
Did you think it was you?
I was waving.
You think it was?
I was the one waving to her.
This is the most point.
I
We're
was waving the
43
whole
minutes
time.
in, and we're not even
I
on
was
day
waving the
2
whole
yet.
time.
And neither of us mentioned it to each other.
I don't. I was waving right at her, bro.
I
That was
thought
me.
I
I was
thought
waving the whole time.
so was I.
Mm,
I thought,
Cool.
oh, for sure, she looked at me, and I went, I'll just let this one sit. 'Cause
Here they are.
Okay, whatever. There they are.
Diego
They came
Luna
out.
was awesome. He was
best
like,
best interview.
This was my
he
favorite
just
one
had
of the
like
whole night.
such a
Best
cool
interview on the
energy.
stage.
And this was after the Andor trailer.
After the
came
Andor
out,
trailer
right?
came out. Yeah, so it was really hype. I mean, the trailer was stunning.
Which go listen
so,
to
the trailer was
go listen to the
incredible.
HoloNet Marauders podcast. Their
Go
latest
listen to
episode,
theirs.
which is their recap on Celebration. If you want to hear how we all watched the Andor trailer, I'll leave
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
I'll leave that story out as a little plug
Give
for
that to
their
the
podcast
Marauders.
because they did
Yeah.
a pretty funny
We had
job
our
of
own little panel.
telling our little circle.
Yeah.
And that story.
Yeah, we
so,
had our own panel.
yeah,
Right.
our own panel. Let's just leave it at that. So
Um,
yeah,
But yeah, so
But
that
yeah,
was
awesome.
yeah, great
So good.
interview. Very excited for Andor. I think we are all very much
it's
on
easily
board.
my most hype show.
We haven't.
Easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be good. But so Andor was great, and then things started. Then they stopped doing the stream, so then people started to stop coming out. But then Ben and I, or Gibbs and I, had a little photo op
Little encounter.
with the there's a photo op with the Moff Gideon himself, Giancarlo Esposito. Here's that picture,
Yeah. That pick goes hard.
and pick goes hard. You know, that's a pretty good picture. Okay, so we agreed. So here's the little thing. Ben and I agreed to do the pose that I'm in, but then
Interesting.
Giancarlo did this. So then Ben followed him, and I didn't follow that. So then
Oh, I
I'm the
see.
one who looks like the fool.
I was wondering. I was like,
yeah.
why didn't you follow suit? But it looks like you were sticking to the plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ben effed it.
I would have
He
done what
might
Giancarlo did, though.
come on here and we gotta invite him on. He'll be like, so what's your definition of plan?
Yeah.
No. Like we talked about it in line. Like we were waiting and we had to wait in line.
I know, no, I know.
So,
I'm just saying he pulled out the what's your definition of a couple of times.
oh,
What's your
right.
definition of ruin?
Any
There's
no
any
picture
other
of Diego
other
Luna.
day one funds? Because we
So yeah, so we took the picture and then
Day one funds. It's a
day
good-
one
I like
funds.
that.
It was really just an introduction day. We saw a lot of people we've interacted with and had
Right.
on our show and whatnot. So that was really cool to see them. And I mean, yeah, and obviously everything was the celebration stage was obviously the best part of that first day, because
Agreed.
there were so many guests, and Kenobi was that day too.
And this
Yeah.
isn't a new show. But you know, the announcement of Skeleton Crew, um,
The
that sort
bug.
of
Yep. Mosquito. Keep going, please. Keep talking.
that sort of stuff. Like there were a lot of announcements throughout the day that were
Yeah.
like we talked about were kind of hype. Because it was the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase, so we saw like
Right.
the
So
first inklings of Mando footage, which we obviously would see later. The Ahsoka Leku being longer.
well,
This
nobody. Well,
what?
we've seen it later.
No, I'm saying that's why I said we would see it later. But I'm
Yeah.
saying at the time, no one was seeing it. We were not in the
Right.
panel, so I'm saying
Right.
stuff was like coming out, like information was coming out that day.
And that was kind of bummer too, because it was like, oh
I
wow,
know,
we're just
and
not there.
I swear that is my. Let's just talk about it because this podcast might run a little long.
No, it's we're
Yeah,
not
we got
even done with day one.
I know,
we
and,
How long
and that's
is-
what I'm saying. But
Okay.
I like my biggest regret in retrospect is not even trying to go to the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase. And you said earlier that you had a big what was yours? I just want to hear about that.
Is that we'll get to. Oh, it was that day. Um, so they screened 2 episodes of Kenobi that night, and the
yeah.
cast came out, and we
We had some moral
probably
quandaries.
could have got in.
Yeah, yeah. In hindsight,
We had some passes, not enough for everybody, but in hindsight, we didn't know how the system worked at the time, so
yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
kind of
And just people are like, "Oh, dude, I just walked in." So it's like,
So
yeah.
yeah, so we
But also, we were like, "Well, we want to do a reaction," but that didn't work out
right.
at all.
So then we wanted to do a reaction video for all you guys with the first episodes, and our
See,
internet
the thing is though,
was
the thing is about going to Kenobi is I don't necessarily regret it because people were lining up and going in at like 5, and we were still at the celebration
Yeah,
stage at
yeah,
that
yeah. And
time.
we got to see a
And I
lot of
don't
the
know, and
cool.
like that's like a exchange where
I
that's
don't know
a
if we went right after. Oh, whatever.
I don't know.
Um,
The stage was open till 6, and
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade the Diego Luna
that's
Genevieve O'Reilly for going to see Kenobi. I don't think. I think that whole environment on the stage was pretty darn good.
well, the whole cast came out, so that was.
right,
But
right,
anyways,
right.
it's whatever. But
Okay, I know what you're saying, but
yeah.
Do we
So
want to get into day
our
2?
internet was awful, and so our reactions it stopped
Didn't
working.
happen.
There were like a handful of issues, which I don't need to explain, um. But yeah, and our unfortunately our first watch the episodes were like it was really slow. It kept buffering, low quality. Kind of was a bummer. But anyways, that was our first viewing. But we
kind of
watched it
ruined
in
my.
higher quality
Yeah,
later. What?
I'd say it brought down my opinion of the episodes
Yeah,
pretty
no,
heavily.
it did.
After the first ep, I was like, "This is not good." I literally said, "I was like, guys, I don't know if I like this."
Yeah.
Even
But
though now I
then we
probably think
watched it
that
again. Yeah, it was much
yeah,
better
I
the
think
second
that
time.
much better, much
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Because
That
there was
was
the
a
whole
good
like
way.
stream. We watched it like in a StreamYard
It
overlay,
was
and
yeah, it was awful.
nah,
Never
that
again.
stuff.
That stuff.
But
Anyways,
we got to watch it nonetheless.
we did get to watch it.
And so
Kenobi was
then,
and it came out early, which was insane because that
yeah,
was
yeah,
I mean
yeah,
that
it
was
was
early for everybody, but you know.
Dylan, do you have a biggest regret before we move on from that conversation?
biggest
of
regret.
Yeah,
Celebration?
biggest regret.
Of Celebration not getting into the Mando
Mando
experience, which I'm
experience.
sure you'll
That's
talk
my
about.
Ah,
once we-
That's
Yeah.
my second.
But then I guess
Yeah.
on to day 2, we continued our routine of getting some kind of decent breakfast.
This is a day 1 photo, maybe day 1 too. Day 2.
Oh yes,
that's
more
one?
appropriate.
I don't know. Anyways, keep
Who
going.
knows?
Oh no, this was
That's
our,
2. No.
that's day 2.
Yeah, because you guys wear your shirts. Um,
One that I got stained. Got the stain out.
nice.
Hey, good job. That was
How
so
did we?
weird.
All white. What?
So weird. That's
I
stained.
don't know what it was. Okay. All right. So we were sitting in a panel and my white shirt got stained with
Like
we
red.
still
It was
can't
so
figure
weird.
out what.
Yeah,
It was red.
and your
No one
bag
else
was
had.
wet.
Yeah,
It
no one
was
had
like,
anything else stained.
No one had anyways.
yeah.
Got it out.
Stranger Things
Anyways,
reference.
no.
It was like someone came in from the upside down and like
Stranger Things
painted it.
reference.
That's a very forced reference. Just trying to get those that
The clicks.
yeah, the
Clicks.
SOA. or
Stranger
whatever.
Things, Stranger Things, Stranger Things, Stranger
Anyways,
Things, Stranger Things, Stranger Things. There
how
you
did
go.
we
Hopefully that
start day
helps.
2 though?
Algorithm.
Like,
Stranger Things, Stranger Things.
what was the
Sorry.
first thing we did?
Went
I
to
guess
Carl's Jr. That's what we
Went to
did.
Carl's Jr.,
yeah,
baby.
big Carl Jr. fans all of a sudden. Levi
3-day
likes that
primal
primal burrito. Yeah, 3-day primal burrito challenge.
Jurassic
I don't know if
Park
that sounds
Dominion.
good.
Shout out.
We were no. This is something that I don't think any of us have noticed. We fell into a lot of the Jurassic World 3 marketing
All of it,
that week.
actually.
We did what we had to
As
Dr.
do.
much
Pepper cans, the Dr. Pepper cans at
I
Jurassic
think we
World.
did as
That's
much as
so
you
Carl's
possibly
funny.
Jr.
could.
Carl's Jr. was Jurassic World.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
we,
it's
we
yeah.
did
That's
as
what
much as you
happens.
possibly could at a Star Wars celebration. We played into Jurassic Park merchandise as much as
We
possible.
We're
did a
doing our
lot.
part for the Jurassic World
Right.
franchise.
For Chris Pratt.
I don't.
But
First
day
time ever.
2, what did we do at the convention?
We did a lot at the convention on day 2. Day 2 was
We
day 2
we ate
was
Carl's. We went
probably our
over, and then we immediately
biggest
walked
day.
into the ILM panel. That's what
Yes,
happened.
so we
Right,
got
yeah.
we got in pretty easily, unfortunately, with that.
Yeah, that one
Um,
was like the most.
That was the
again,
most
we
bizarre.
had to do some finagling for most of the other panels, but this
No
one,
Right.
finagle.
this one we literally just walked through. We're like, oh yeah, we're looking for the someone stopped us, but they didn't stop us. They like just said something to us.
yeah,
But
it wasn't.
we were
I
able
think
to
they
walk
said
right
we're
in.
looking for. I heard we're looking for the bathroom, and I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, like that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Where's the
Like-
one that connected to the stage?
We hit the end of the ILM panel or the middle to the
It
end.
was like it was the beginning. It was
yeah,
the whole
was
panel.
it the beginning? Oh,
It was
well, I
basically
guess-
we sat through like most of that
yeah.
panel.
But
Yeah.
then we were really there so we could watch the Attack of the
Well,
Clones.
the island panel was really cool. Ron Howard
It was
there.
cool, but we were there so
Joe
we could
Johnson?
stay.
Joe Johnson, yeah.
We
So
could
that was
we
very
could
cool.
stay
Director of
and then
Captain America.
watch the Attack of the Clones panel, which
Yeah.
we got to see the whole thing. And they brought out Tem, they brought out
Well, here's the thing. We were all expecting it to not be as good because Levi was coming out saying that. Well, do you want to tell it?
Well, basically, and you hear this in the vlog if you just watched it, but it's a quick summary if you haven't. The Phantom Menace 20th anniversary panel at 2019 celebration was mid, so I expected the 20th anniversary celebration of Attack of the Clones to be mid. That is the long and short of it because they both started in the same way with these whack ass messages from
Yeah.
George Lucas that are just like
Yeah.
that are
well, it
just
also
like, ugh,
wasn't the main panel of the day. The main panel
Yeah,
was
they
the
didn't even
ILM one,
right.
right?
You're right.
didn't
Yeah,
make any
I know.
sense.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
Made
Should
no
have switched
sense.
them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
because this panel ended up
actually,
being
no.
awesome.
That
I
was
mean,
probably my favorite one, though.
both
too.
you and Hayden were there, which was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was probably my favorite one.
You
Well,
got Tem, you got Daniel Logan.
Tem and Daniel were just so funny.
yeah,
Em
they
and
stole the
Daniel
show.
were hilarious. Well, okay.
Yeah,
The
tell
second,
story. Tell story.
so Ashley Eckstein came out as the host, and then
Yeah,
at that
okay.
point we were all like, okay, this is gonna be good.
I wasn't.
Well, I
wasn't
was.
either. It was like, well,
For
one,
me,
she has nothing
I
to
was
do
like,
with this
okay.
movie.
That's what I said, Dylan. In my head, I went. She has what? And she seemed kind of out of it too. And I was like, oh, weird. This is gonna be a weird panel.
Yeah,
It started.
had
We have
a
to talk about it.
very
Let's talk
much a-
about it. It started with this weird message from George Lucas being like, I did digital cameras, and I think that's pretty cool.
and everyone else
Uh,
started doing it.
and then
he
everyone else
left,
started,
and he
and he
dipped.
left. But it was
Yeah.
weirder than that because it was almost. It was weirder. It was like an attack
It
against.
felt like he made it 20 years ago. Also,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it also
like
it also
10
simultaneously felt like an attack, but not like an attack against Disney. It felt like an attack against someone else, but you didn't know who.
yeah, like
It was like Steven Spielberg or
I think
someone
you're
who still
reading
uses
into
like
it too
film.
much.
No, it's just the way he talks. It's
no,
not-
yeah,
it's
it
not
was
actually-
weird. It felt like he was like flexing,
Yeah,
which he has every right to
I
do.
did,
But I don't know. It's just
digital
funny.
cameras. It did feel like a flex.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
Flex, right?
and
Yeah.
Everyone
But
copied me.
but no, it was. I was probably my favorite. I gotta think about it, but probably one of my favorite. Oh, well, at least obviously top 3. Well,
Yeah.
duh.
Anytime
Anyways,
you and Hayden were involved,
Out
it's
of the
like, yeah,
3
this-
big
this
ones
is
I
good
went
stuff.
to, it was at least top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, but what they were saying, so it was Anthony Daniels, etc.
Chang.
But Doug Chang, yeah.
Matt Wood.
But Tem and well, oh my god, specifically Tem was the funniest. He like had a
Yeah.
whole, basically the whole panel was
was a
him just doing
comedy
a
show.
comedy routine, a
Every
stand-up
time
routine.
every panel or anything he was involved in, he stole the show. Like,
He
it
stole the
was- it
show.
was the
Like
Tem show.
Tem went so hard, dude.
Yeah.
He was like insane. I can't remember.
I
some
can't
of the
believe
stories.
we missed him at the live stage though because he sung. He like straight up did this whole
Yeah,
song. of his
he
album.
did
it was
sing.
really weird.
I've seen that in a lot of memes.
Is this
now.
the one he? Is this the one he danced?
No,
No,
he-
that was at
no.
Mando.
It was
We
at
saw
Mando.
No,
that.
gotcha. Okay,
and that's why he
gotcha.
was out of breath for the rest of the panel.
Right.
That's why he didn't say anything for the rest of
Yeah.
Mando. Was because he was just completely.
He came
Apparently,
out
he was
gassed.
completely just gassed
Yeah.
out from
Yeah.
doing the whole haka. Like
He did the
But
whole
yeah,
thing.
I don't know.
That's
They-
that's the next day. But
we
anyways,
did, we
keep
got a
going.
lot of stories just about Attack of the Clones.
was
from,
actually
a lot
really
from
cool.
Tam and
It was
Daniel
very cool.
Logan. A lot
I will
of,
say,
Ewan and Hayden. It was awesome.
I will agree. If you're not including what we quote unquote see at the panels, the behind the scenes stuff, then I think in terms of
That
people
was
just
the best
talking to
panel,
each
yeah.
other, then Attack of the Clones was easily the best panel because
Yeah, I
they
agree.
shared the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
information and
Right.
had everyone was like having a
Biggest
great time.
names. Yeah, yeah.
The
it was-
audience was having a great time. They were having just a good time sharing stories. Ewan told a couple funny stories. I mean, we know from behind the
Well,
scenes
we
stuff
were
that-
expecting Hayden and Ewan to come out, but we weren't 100% sure. because
Yeah,
they
I
didn't have
did.
enough chairs for them. So we were like, oh shoot, maybe they're not coming out. But then Ashley did like a whole surprise that you can see in the vlog
Right.
and wherever. But
The
That
sky
that
was
was
guy
actually
apparently that
thing.
was Ashley and
Yeah.
Hayden's first time meeting, which was
right,
interesting.
which
Yeah, which I
is
guess
it
is true. I mean, they said it was, so I don't see why they
I don't
would
know why they
lie
would
about
lie.
that. Yeah,
right? Well,
It's weird to me
right.
though.
I'm
It's
trying
stunning.
to. I thought I took. Oh, here it is. Okay. So there's the
Yeah,
three of them
it's pretty
together, was
crazy.
just like
Goated.
just goaded,
Goated
amazing,
Yeah,
image.
legendary. The three of them all together. That's insane. Still, but
Yeah, that was a pretty
that
magical
was
panel.
big. That was
Because
big.
yeah,
it started out with the lowest expectations. We walked into this other weird panel that we had no interest in going to, enjoyed it, and
You know,
then we're like,
yeah, it was good.
what's going on here? We got into the one we wanted to. That's kind of cool. We, kind of cheated the system. So it always feels good when you get away with something like that.
oh
You're
yeah,
like, I just
Feels
walked in
good when you get away with things.
and you didn't even stop me. Well, not in like a bad way, but in a way
No, I
where
know.
they're like, oh, please come on in. You go,
right. Yeah,
okay.
like we were welcome with open
You're like,
arms. They're
woo,
like, get in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and then it just
It
went,
was
it
great.
escalated
It
of
went up.
enjoyment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Essentially, that's
so
kind
Well,
of
the
what
awesome.
funny
it's
thing
saying.
is too is that there were people waiting in line for the next panel, the Attack of the Clones
I
panel.
know,
Like
and
they
Brent
were,
only barely got in or whatever. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that was
You're
crazy.
right.
right.
He really got in. Yeah.
But yeah, that panel was awesome. It was a great
Amazing.
time. Um,
Amazing.
and then I guess it was kind of a rinse and repeat after, where it's like you're on the
We
floor, you're at um,
Live
the
stage.
live stage.
I went to a couple panels that day
Yeah, you
on
did
my own.
some in the independent.
oh, let me
The
look
fire.
at what
That's
I
the day the
did.
fire alarm went off, and I was hanging out with all.
Yep.
I can tell that story because me and
You
Matt,
can
the
tell
All
that
Night
story.
Marauders, were we went to this panel about publishing, and the fire alarm went off. Someone like pulled the fire alarm on the upper level. Whole convention had to get evacuated for like 10 minutes. For a second, I thought the convention was just gonna be ruined. I was about to be. I was so sad in the moment, like when it happened, and all of a sudden, Matt and I are just like walking and talking with all of these authors. It was very funny. And then I don't know if anyone here really cares or anyone in the audience really cares, but it's like me, Delilah S. Dawson, Kevin Scott, just like chilling. And me and Matt were just hanging out in the little
Yeah,
circle, and we're like, oh yeah, hey, oh yeah, this sucks. And then we all went right back inside, and then the panel started again. It was funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a good panel, good publishing panel.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't really. I think this was kind of the day we just kind of walked around on the floor, or at least
yeah,
I did. Um,
Let's do a
we
pull up.
saw a lot of the booths, and the Hasbro booth was amazing. They had all the
yeah. Oh,
great.
the sideshow
Hasbro
one was
killed it
awesome.
at Celebration.
Yeah, they did a great job,
All their
especially after
figures
when the
looked
Kenobi figures came out, and then
yep,
they put them all out, and everyone
looked
got
all
to
good.
look
I
at them.
pre-ordered
Yeah,
pretty much everything they revealed. So
that was pretty sweet.
great job to Hasbro.
Right.
They should do that every time.
Who did we
Um,
get on the live stage that day? Anyone super notable?
oh, I can't think. I know.
I'm looking through
I'm
images right
looking
now.
at our video. I don't think
Right.
anybody. Or at least we didn't go, or I didn't.
I think
But
it appears I've made a mistake.
but they had the Kenobi costumes out, which was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was super cool.
That
They
was one of
put
the first
figures
things
in
we
Kenobi.
did that day was look at them. That was
Did
really
I
Right.
cool.
make a
They had
mistake, or am I just tripping?
the screen use stuff. What?
Well,
You went you
I'm
went to the Mando experience that day.
yeah, I went to Mando Experience that day too.
Right. Which
Yeah.
looked incredible. It's like
Would you
the
like
one
to
thing
talk about
right.
that? Not briefly, because I don't
It's all
want
right.
you to rub it in anymore.
Yeah, I was trying to. Sorry, the days was just playing together. I was trying to find the
No, I know.
photos of me with all the authors, and I swear I have, but I can't seem to find it. But
I don't think it's super.
oh, I guess it was late in the day. Wow, it was 5:40. Okay, geez. Okay, that's why. I didn't realize how late it was. So I came out. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I came out of that panel with Matt. Matt goes his own way. Brent I meet up with Brent on the second floor, and Brent is like, "Hey, do you want to go do the droid builder thing?" It's me and Ben meet up because you guys. I think you guys went back to the. Did you guys? Where were
Yep,
you? You went
that
back
was
to
the
the
second
hotel.
time we
That's
went
when you
back.
Yeah.
the second time you went back.
And we did learn a lesson. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we learned our lesson. Never leave Celebration, because you guys got to go do this awesome
Yeah.
thing while we
So
were like tired AF.
so we
I wasn't even tired. I was well,
we're meeting with
that's
Brent,
fine.
and Brent, he's a droid builder. Obviously, this is what he does. So he's taking us to this droid builder thing. I don't think you guys ever did that either, where it's the display of
No.
all these droids. But now because Kenobi is out, Lola is getting all the attention because he built Lola. I'm sure many of you have seen it, got a lot of attention. So everyone and their mother is stopping this guy and being like, "Hey, how'd you get that? Tell me about it. How'd you get
Yeah.
that?" every 10 feet, and especially in the droid builder like area.
Yeah.
So everyone is stopping him, and
Mm.
Ben and I get to the end, and we walk out, and we turn around. We're waiting for Brent, and and we see Brent. He's right there, and he gets stopped. And I get a text from the guy I met on the plane, Emilio. We gave him, because we got the media badge, so we had one extra pass for him to go on just Friday. And he was like, "Oh, I've just waited in line for the Mando experience. Like, do you want to come do it?" And I didn't really know what it was. I hadn't really heard of it yet. You know, it would sort of started like sprinkling out. I think by Saturday everyone knew what it was, but I didn't really I wasn't aware. So I went, "Oh, is that like what is that?" And he told me, he's like, "Oh, it's this like the exhibit." And I went, "Okay, yeah, that's something to do. Let's go do it." He's like, "Okay, but it's time sensitive." I went, "All right." And Ben and I just start yelling at Brent. I'm like, "Brent, come on!" And he's not listening. He's getting talked to. And so we try to go back in, but there's this old lady at the door, and everything at Celebration, to the strangest degree, is once you step like 1 foot past
Yeah.
the invisible dotted line, you can't turn around. And they're like, "No, you can't come back in."
Mm.
So this
Even
old
though they
lady,
just saw you like half a second
and so
before.
this old lady is like, "Hey, he's building droids. You can't go back in." And Ben and I were like, "He's right there." And she's like, "You gotta." And she's trying to give us this pep talk about you gotta start now, build droids now. And Ben and I are just not listening, just yelling at Brent. She's like, "You gotta build R2D2 today."
I didn't
And
know that.
oh
I
yeah, there's
didn't
this
know that
lady
piece
who's
of it.
stopping us from getting
Oh,
him.
I
And
knew that, but I didn't know she was talking.
oh,
She was
she's
telling
trying.
you
Oh
guys
yeah,
to
dude. She's
build.
trying to give us this pep talk, and she points out this R2 that they had that we missed, and we were like, "Oh, actually, that is pretty cool," because it's an awesome R2D2. So we're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that is cool." But she's like, if you keep putting it off every day, then you're never gonna start. You gotta start today. Become a droid builder now. And this was really like it was like a 75-year-old woman. It was very funny, very small, yeah, very funny. But Brent he keeps getting stopped, and Emilio's like, "You gotta come now." And so Ben and I run down to the other end of the convention center. We had to leave. I called Brent. I
Yeah.
texted him.
No,
He
you
would
did
not.
everything you could.
He
You
would
did it.
not. And oh, it was so funny because he was so annoyed. He's like, "Why didn't you call me and text me?" I'm like, "I did." And he was like, "Ah." And so Ben and I go down, and this guy I met on the plane, Emilio, is sitting there in the front of the line. This is another moment where, like, how did we get away with this?
Yeah.
He's sitting there at the
Stuff just
front of this
happens.
long ass line, and Ben and I just sort of walk up to the side. He has like stepped off to the side, and he's left his bag in the place. And we go, "Hello." He's like, "Hello," and then we just walk back into the line together at the very front. And they come and they immediately take us in. And we were
That's
like,
so funny.
we're like, "Ooh." um, and so we start walking in, and you see everything is veiled in black curtains, and you see like the models. I'm sure a lot of you online have seen the photos of the models, like the T6 shuttle and the Razor Crest and the N1. But there's not a lot going on in this room. There's not really much going on, and you're like, okay, like this is cool. Like this is really cool. What am I? Is this it though? Like you just walk through these hallways with stuff, and then you turn the corner, and they have the full Razor Crest like cockpit. Like, oh wow, like that is impressive. But it's still, it's fenced off. Can't touch it. Everything
Oh,
is
you
still
couldn't even touch. Oh, right.
yeah, everything is still covered in black curtains, but it's life
Oh
size. So
no,
you're looking
wasn't
at
there like an actual Mando in there though?
yeah, there's a whole Mando in there. Like, okay, wow, that's cool. You turn the corner again, and they have some really like random props. They had Q90, the screen use costume of that, and the guy. I said this in the vlog too, but the sweatshirt wearing Mon Cala guy on Trask. You're like, all right, like that's kind of cool in the little set, but everything I can't stress this enough is just veiled in these huge black curtains, so you just feel like you're in space almost with these little specks of like, oh, that's a cool Star Wars thing, and then you're looking at Q90, and you turn this corner, and I shit you guys not. I see it first. I'm like, Ben, turn around. And he's like, dude, I'm trying to look at the Trask guy. And like Ben is like looking at Q90. And I'm like, Ben, turn around. He's like, what are you talking about, dude? And you turn around, and it is this open room from wall to wall. No black curtains anymore. It goes from stark black to every single thing in this huge room is screen used Mando stuff with the
So
giant
crazy.
N1 starfighter sitting in the middle with a live animatronic Grogu being actively operated by 3 people in a separate area. It's waving at people. This is this huge room. You see all of Boba Fett's palace, every single display from every single planet. Cobb Vanth's huge speeder bike. I lost my mind. Black Krrsantan, Cad Bane, like all the whole mayor moving prop was there. Like the mayor
That's
from
so
Book of
cool.
Boba Fett, Mok Shaiz. It was his whole thing was moving a big bantha, this whole Tuscan set. The actual Rancor head from Book of Boba Fett, like the screen used, the one you see behind the scenes. Danny Trejo actually has a huge thing. It was crazy, and yeah, so we got to go see all that stuff, and I took photos of that and some video of that
Well,
made in the vlog, and then
me and Johnny weren't
and
there, and we learned that we broke rule
yeah,
number 2 again.
Hey, but you got
Dark-
this photo with 9 Nub.
Yeah,
Kid
that
soon.
was pretty sick. At least I got
That
that
was
photo
great.
with 9
There,
Nub
you-
that
there you
day.
go. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brightness was
my
with you.
hero. I met many heroes, and that he was one of them. But yeah, that sounds awesome, and that's like one of my biggest life regrets is not going to that.
Yeah, it's
But we
good.
won't talk about it too much.
Thank you.
But here's this Babu Frick and a mouse droid. That was cool.
We did see that.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Anyways, so yeah,
Hold on, hold
that
on.
was
One more thing. I'm about to show our friend Emilio. While he was waiting in that line, Raul Coley was also there,
Oh,
I didn't
and
know
yeah.
that.
we missed him.
Bro.
We missed him, but the fact that he like ran into Raul Coley too.
Yeah, that's
like,
so funny.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I saw him there. I bummed I didn't see him. Big Rahul fan. Big day one Rahul fan.
Here, let
Gonna
me,
say
let
it.
me show you.
Gonna
Like
say
you
it
walk
now.
in, and
Big eye zombie
everything
fan.
everything is black, and it's just like there's some like little lights and the ships, and it's like okay, yeah, it's cool, but there's just so much just black, and then you walk in, and it's just everything. Yeah, let me turn it sideways. Everything from wall to wall is Star Wars stuff. It was
True.
so cool.
Yeah, cool.
I'm crying.
Yeah. But day 2, otherwise, I don't know if anything super
I
notable
didn't do anything
happened.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep it brief. I met a YouTuber that I have watched for a very long time.
Was that on day 2?
Started my collecting. Started my collecting. Stratimus Prime. There he is. Great
Oh, yeah,
guy.
right, wasn't
Very
it?
nice to meet him.
Oh yeah,
Very
he was
funny
cool. We had
interaction.
a
And that's
great
all.
conversation with him.
You're not gonna. We don't want to go into that one. I
Nope.
think that one's be funny.
No,
too.
I don't
Okay.
either. It's just
Nope,
weird
I
things
don't.
happened at Celebration that
Weird
don't
things.
need to be talked
very,
about.
very funny.
Yeah,
conversation.
He didn't do anything weird. Just
No,
wanna
he
say
was
that.
fine.
Anywho,
But yeah,
day 3.
otherwise, I think that was day 2. Moving
was day-
on to day 3.
Day 3.
So the big panel for day 3 was the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Mando Plus.
Yeah,
Mando
Mando Plus. Which again, this one it took a little more finagling, but we got in. That was the first thing we went to do, right? We just went straight there. I'm pretty sure for the most
Yeah, I
part.
forgot. Yeah.
Well, they also had the panel. They had this thing called Lightspeed, which never really worked out great for us. Which was basically just another, try to get in. But we didn't get it. Not only did we get in, we were in like the media area seats or the I don't know.
We had a media badge. All I know is media.
We
had
had
for me,
crazy.
that's-
We had pretty crazy nutty seats that the average Joes don't get, which we shouldn't have been in, but we got there regardless.
Well,
We absolutely
we
shouldn't
had the
have.
badge.
We had more than a badge, but we got in there. And I think this might have been my favorite panel. Honestly, I mean, we just
It's if you count footage and stuff. This is the
footage.
best.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It was insane.
so out there was Dave and John and Pedro and
Yeah. So I mean,
Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, hold on! I found the photo.
Carl
if I can
Weathers.
interrupt,
this is the
I
only
thought I was
picture
losing my
I
mind.
pulled.
This is so in front of me. That's an author. That's Kevin, the back of Kevin Scott, and we were just
Very
walking
cool.
with him. Sorry,
Thank you.
I found
Thank
it.
you.
Giancarlo Esposito was
It was
there.
like a
Yeah,
really
you got the
grainy
whole
picture,
gang.
but like this is everybody here. So Pedro's
yeah.
here. These are the
Tem
stunt
took the
doubles.
picture
These
for some
two
reason.
guys with the
Tem
the
was so
cowboy
out.
hat. I can't remember the stunt doubles. I feel bad.
Lateef Crowder and Brendan Wayne.
Yeah. So those the stunt doubles. Carl Weathers, Giancarlo, Rick Famu,
Famuyiwa.
yeah.
Okay.
Katie Sackhoff,
who is an
Rosario.
executive producer now, and I'm really excited about that.
Yes, me too. Dave.
I love his episodes.
Oh God. Emily Swallow.
Bro, you want me to do it? You're like shutting down.
I don't think it's that important. I think we should talk about the stuff that we
Natasha
saw. there.
Lou
I'm
Bordizzo
forgetting.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew her first.
Yeah, because it was.
Anyways, but they were all there.
It was
They
Mando
all
Plus.
came
It was
out.
Mando, Book of Boba Fett, and
Yeah,
what's it
sorry,
called?
guys,
And Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
viewer, I was distracted. I was looking through my camera. while I
We
was just getting
started
lost in
out
photos.
with not only did we get a Mando trailer, but we saw more than what people saw at the Lucasfilm showcase, which
We got
was a
an
Mando
extended
teaser
trailer.
essentially. Yeah, we got an extended trailer to what other people had saw. So we got what we missed and more. And this trailer is insane, and I don't know why it's not out on YouTube yet.
Wild.
It's
out
too
in the
much.
world.
Honestly.
I feel
think
bad.
it's-
It's
It was
a
a
lot.
lot.
There's a lot that happened
For a
in
show
this
that's
trailer.
coming out
I
in
feel
8
bad
months.
for.
Yeah, and it
people,
looks
Well, we can talk about it a
incredible.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's too far out.
So-
I'm surprised they showed that much at all because this show is
Insane.
legitimately
Yeah.
8 months away. It's February
Right.
2023. Lucasfilm usually
See,
in our
that's
past.
normal with regular shows, but not with Star Wars
Yeah.
shows.
Not with
'Cause
Star
Star Wars
Wars, yeah.
shows start marketing a month
I,
before.
A month before,
my
yeah.
biggest takeaways was Mando
bad.
is going back to Mandalore to try to become a Mandalorian again, at least in the armorer's eyes.
Mhm.
A lot of Mandos in this trailer, as to be
Lot
expected.
A lot of
Armored
action
Man.
figures.
Bo-Katan is going to be what seems like the antagonist, or at least a force
That's how
against
it's being
Mando.
shown in the trailer. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. I don't think she's going to be helping out Mando, at least at the beginning.
Sure.
And she is spending a lot of time with Grogu too. We see that her
Yeah,
and Grogu got some scenes
they
together.
seem to be having a lot of time together.
Yeah,
Grogu is getting a helmet. Grogu's getting a
Yep.
Mando helmet.
yes.
It's blue. It's like a turquoise looking helmet. It's kind of
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
That
I'm a
could be
little
Bo-Katan,
skeptical,
right?
but
Because
I think she is, and she's by the way, because I think she's just an antagonist. I don't know if
yeah,
she's
and I don't know if she's going to
yeah,
remain
no.
an antagonist the
Bo-Katan
entire.
is not the no.
She's her own force.
Yeah.
Just like
because we had that crazy shot of Star Destroyers on
right.
But I
Coruscant,
do
maybe
know.
A lot of
Corellia.
dogfighting.
I
stuff
think we
too.
can all gather that it's gonna be very
Good.
Mandalorian heavy.
Yes.
Like
It's supposed to be good. Looks very good.
good.
It looks
Looks
very
very
good. Yeah, yeah.
Not excited. Aerial combat